This is our current facade condition. I know, it's a mess, but let me explain the situation. When we bought the house 3 years ago, we had to remove the old facade because it was falling off. We had hoped to leave the bricks exposed, but since humidity had been trapped behind the facade, the bricks were not cute enough to leave naked. So we decided to replaster.
Our muratore, that's Italian for builder, at the time actually did an amazing job and the replastering looked fantastic. We went for a natural look with a lot of texture and used a lime-based render to allow the building to breathe.
But then shit hit the fan. We had to redo some structural work on the stable, open a hole in the facade for new plumbing, and the list goes on. And we actually started prepping and painting the main house 2 years ago, but it turned out to be the wrong color.
So that's it. That's the brief history of the facade. Now let's take a look at our latest facade failures. I'm talking about the ones that happened at the end of 2024, not back in 2021, because things are now finally to look a whole lot brighter.
3 years ago, we traded city life in Stockholm for rural living in the Italian countryside of Piemonte. We bought this abandoned farmhouse with a dream and a vision.
But when does anything ever go to plan? There have been unreliable workers, structural, shall we say, surprises, and a whole new culture to adapt to. For the past 3 years, we've been tirelessly renovating this house on a very tight budget.
Join us on this journey as we continue the restoration of this 100-year-old abandoned rustico. Welcome to our Italian dream house, year 4! Since it's sunny and our facade has dried up pretty well since the previous rain, me and Ernie thought it would be a good time to do a bit of painting. What do you say, Aaron? So about our facade, it's been a bit of a journey because we have tried now 3 or 4 different color samples. I haven't managed to find the right one. The last one we got looked perfect at the sample we painted. But then when I painted in the window and door there, it got very yellow. So I wonder if I just didn't manage to mix all the pigment around properly. But however, this all's gonna need 2 coats, so I'm gonna get on with the first one just to protect the facade, because now it's been 2 years since it was finished and we still haven't painted it. Are you gonna help or are you gonna like tanning? You're gonna tan. So it's actually looking really good. Unfortunately, I am doing all of this with a brush. I tried 2 different rollers. I used a rough surface roller, and then I used a long hair roller, and none of them worked. Probably because our surface, or the texture of the facade, is super rough. We really wanted it like a rustic Mediterranean style, and this is actually one thing that our Muratorers did really well with the facade. But it means that if I roll something on, it just gets sucked up and the paint doesn't go all the way in, and it leaves the gray facade marks, which doesn't look very good. So I'm gonna have to do more painting with a brush now, but it's fine because we all know that I prefer a brush anyways. Let's get on. It is Sunday and it's been 2 days since I painted the facade. Unfortunately, as you can see, the result is not what we were hoping for. We were looking for a shade which is more beige with a bit of red in it, like this one. And we did actually get a tester, a sample pot with the exact same color as we painted this in, and the other one looked completely different. So I think what happened is that in the store they probably ran out of a specific pigment in their tintometro machine, which is really annoying because we have had this issue previously, and we heard about other people who have issues when you kind of custom order a paint in a specific shade. So it's a bit of money lost, but we're not gonna stick with this pastel yellow facade. The one we have chosen is more traditional Piemonte Malta Antica color, which you can see on a lot of buildings around here, and I'm not gonna bend on this. I really want that paint. But at least now the facade has half of the facade, as far up as I could reach, have a first coat of paint which should protect the facade from a bit of weather during the fall. I don't think we will have time to repaint it now before the weather gets too wet, but at least we have started. And even if we have to redo it all over again, you know, I'd rather do that and get the perfect result. Sometimes you succeed and sometimes you fail. So here we are, stable unpainted, main house half painted in the wrong color, sidewall half painted in the wrong color, terrace one painted wall now infested with moss, garage painted in the wrong color. One of our biggest challenges during our renovation has been to find the perfect facade color. I recently, well, as you can see, painted half of the facade on the front of the house, and it turned out to be the complete wrong color. So I am about this close to give up. Then I found this one in France, actually, at Castorama. And the color we're looking for can be seen quite frequently in France as well. And then I found this called ton pierre, which technically means like your stone. So I brought a sample. I'm gonna give this a go. I am willing to drive back and forth to France to get facade paint if it's the right color. It looks good. So we have this, which is a bit more, has a little bit more orange in. So we'll give this a go. I also want to do a tester next to the other ones. Ta-da!
Yeah, that is actually perfect. I love it. Can we see it next to some yellow to show the comparison?
Yeah.
Let's do it. Oh, I think that looks good.
Looking at the paint sample.
Where is it?
Cemetery.
Here.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, it looks quite white on
Yeah,
camera.
compared to the yellow.
Yeah.
This is white
Yeah, exactly.
and it's more orange.
Yeah. I think we just go for that. I think that's the best we're gonna.
Yeah. I agree. Well done. Well found. Good research. Only took 2.5 years.
The only problem now is that we need to get it from France because this is not from Italy. But
Okay, we'll work it out.
But you know, we've been talking about all those great Facebook Marketplace finds in France.
Yeah.
So maybe I'll just rent a van, raid Facebook Marketplace for furniture for the sala, and bring paint.
Deal. Fine. Fine. So the next steps now are to wait for some nice weather in spring, make sure that we've bought the paint from France, and then paint 2 coats all over the house and the stable and make sure that the facade is looking perfect. In the meantime, please do consider liking, subscribing, hitting that notification bell, and we will see you in the next video. Ciao!